r/AskReddit. What things really make you cringe? Recordings of my own voice. Why does every other voice on the planet sound like Morgan Ducking Freeman and mine sounds like Gilbert Gottfried on helium? Videos of people getting caught in lies. Oh, I need to see some of these strangely. Check out r/confidently incorrect. When I remember my high school interactions in general. Not so much an interaction, but I took my senior year school photo as a joke and thought I would be super goofy looking. I had long hair, I'm a guy BTW, and pulled it into a weird top pony and flared it out. I kept looking behind me at the line for some kind of approval and the photographer even asked me 3 times if this is what I really wanted. Now I have to live with that for the rest of my life when I pull out the yearbook. High school was true painful cringe. I told a French exchange student that I loved him in French, and he just walked away. I die every time I think about it. A friend of mine told a girl I liked that I liked her while she was in front of me, so I ran away. I was a senior. She tried to talk to me 4 different times after that. Every time she did, I ran away. Edit. Yes, absorb my shame, become one with me. When I remember that I do have a boyfriend, he just goes to another school thing. As an adult with a real girlfriend in another country, I feel like a high school fraud when it comes up. Lol. The time I was talking too loud at a wedding when I wasn't supposed to and everyone at the wedding turned around to see what a hole wouldn't shut up. I was across a table from some friends who did this during the reception speeches because they didn't realize what was happening. The bride's brother is a pretty well-known actor and happened to be 5 feet away from them giving his speech, which he stopped in the middle to yell at them to shut up. Yeah, I made a loud, unflattering comment about my befriend's bridesmaid that should be me. My date whispered, we should talk about this later. Reminds me of my friend's second wedding. I was the best man and I started the speech with, "Welcome back everyone." I cringe at it to this day, lol. You didn't get invited to the third, I take it? When someone is obviously lying. Reminds me of that one chick who got caught trying to put a hit on her husband for his money and they played him the video of her saying she was 5000% sure she wanted him dead. And then she was like, "No babe, that was a lie, please help me. They're gonna take me to jail, no." Edit. This link to the video can only be seen by absolute baddies. Didn't she just get house arrest for it or something? I remember feeling like she had gotten away with attempted murder because her sentencing was so light. Edit. So apparently she got 16 years. Justice Lee Ives. That was one really messed up case. Yaddle. The depths of some people's craziness. She had tricked him into taking his name off of the deed to their house before she tried to have him killed. So in the end she got a house out of the whole ordeal. In the phone call where she tries to convince her ex-husband to help her. Yes, the one she tried to have killed. He says he will help her mom financially if she signs the house back to him, and she says no. Second-hand embarrassment. It makes me physically ill. Someone obviously showing off at doing something when they are not that good at it really gets to me. The worst is when someone is singing along to a song, but instead of just vibing and singing for their own pleasure, they are looking around to make sure that other people are watching them sing. It's the worst. Just to be clear, doing something badly just because you enjoy it is encouraged and celebrated. You should see me on a dance floor. It's like an epileptic octopus. It's when the person doing it thinks they are good at it and has that smugness or attitude and is doing it for praise from other people, but they are not actually good at that thing. Watching the auditions force factor makes me feel sick. I relate to this so hard, I have to mute the TV I'm watching when a character is about to say/do something embarrassing. Yes, I watched Love Actually on Netflix and it only took me an hour because I had to skip over all the awkward bits. It makes me so uncomfortable. I cannot understand how people enjoy it. Fun fact, the entire 9 seasons of The Office is only 49 minutes long when all the cringe is edited out. I was invited to karaoke by a friend of a friend. Not my scene, but the drinks were cheap so I went. He kept insulting most of the singers. They weren't great, but not terrible. He just kept insisting he was a great singer and just wait until it was his turn, because he was going to school everyone. I'm sure you can guess by now that he was, by far, the worst singer there. I can't understand how he didn't know. I almost thought he was joking, but nope. He was super smug. And since I didn't really know him that well, I wasn't going to be the one to call him out. I haven't seen karaoke since. It's just too uncomfortable. This is my nightmare. You'd think someone would have told him before then. You see it all the time on audition shows. People who think they're amazing. Have their friends or family not told them that they're actually the worst? I have a friend who really likes TikTok, and okay, it's a little cringy, but whatever makes her happy. Except, she's obsessed with the dances and forces me to watch her attempt them, even though she really can't dance. Not to mention she does them in public all the time, oblivious to people's stares. Seeing an adult complain like a child to waiters, cashiers, etc. My aunt flipped her shit at a game store employee because they didn't give her a good amount of money for a copy of Final Fantasy on PS3. Keep in mind she's in her 40s. Was it GameStop? I bet it was GameStop. There's a family friend that's got some health issues, so she's got a pretty restrictive diet. Effectively she can't have oils of any kind in any amount, and then some dietary restrictions on the kinds of proteins she can eat. Certain animals / fishes / nuts are fine and others are not. What is a useful starting point for her quite frequently would be to assume vegan restrictions, but the following exceptions are fine. The issue arises that she is violently opposed to being described as a vegan. So when a waiter / waitress says well there is a vegan section on the menu, she will snap I'm not a vegan. The tone is conflictingly polite, if she said anything else in that tone you'd take no offense to it, but the way she says that sentence in that tone, it's clear she's pissed off by the insinuation. Remembering my past. You know in rom-coms a lot of them start out with the characters literally bumping into each other. When I was in elementary school I tried to orchestrate that with my crush in a subtle fashion. I was back to back with her having a conversation with someone else, and I kept taking a step back to try and have her bump into me once she turns around, and she kept having to adjust where she was standing so she wouldn't bump into me, you know, like a normal person. I eventually had practically moved her into the corner of the classroom before she sorta just ducked out and went somewhere else. That memory haunts me. When people make a joke but nobody laughs, and it's just quiet, I can occasionally be funny, but I must have a weird to subtle delivery, because there's usually a couple seconds of delay before my friends / coworkers laugh in a I'm just now processing what you said, and hey that's hilarious kind of way. But for those few seconds, when I think it missed, my soul shrivels up a bit. People who post vague status updates on social media, such as the most horrible thing just happened to me, without providing any context. It's a cheap way for people to fish for attention, and it creates unnecessary worry for the people who care about them. Just got back from the emergency room. Bonus points if they post a picture of the hospital bracelet. Influencers asking for support during these times, or people who are influencers without having done anything. I get it that people will be influenced by famous people like singers, sports players, politicians, actors, etc. But the idea that influencing in itself is a career is ducking stupid. When people post selfies of them crying. No joke, my friend's sister posted crying selfies of her and her kids when they had their dog put to sleep with the dead dog. That's a private moment of grief, not a selfie opportunity. My brother-in-law. The way he tries to flirt with anything with a pair of boobs and is 2 decades younger than he is, mostly female servers at restaurants. He treats male servers like shit. He tries to touch their hair or their shoulders without permission and makes the lamest jokes that no one ever laughs at except for him. The man hasn't shaved in years, and from the smell of it probably doesn't bathe as often as he should either. He smells like dog and burritos. I married his twin brother. I feel like I married the name brand version and his brother is the dollar store version. When people film themselves doing something really generous and heartfelt for someone in dire need, for instance a homeless person, mate, give them the money or the food, or whatever, and get on with your life. I cringe at how that person must feel to have a camera or phone shoved in their face while they're accepting someone's shallow charity. I'm glad the person in need benefits, but I can't bear to watch them. Having to stick your hand into the nasty food water that has been sitting in the sink for several days to open the drain, and when you remove your hand the pieces of fish and lettuce and dark matter that are stuck to it. Thank you for watching.